Sup gamers, it's me, GinePik, and welcome back to a brand new Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you guys an efficient mob farm that works for all Minecraft platforms, whether with the mobile device, Xbox, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, or PC. This mob farm gives you up to 6,300 drops per hour. That includes your rotten flesh, gunpowder, string, arrows, and various other stuff. Timestamps is provided down in the description below, so if you would love to skip the tutorial, you can go ahead, but I would recommend you to listen to what the mechanics is so you can get a glimpse of what's actually happening. So this mob farm uses a split density check layout design. So if you don't know what a split density check layout design is, it is a type of design where we are able to get more mobs than the initial amount. The initial amount of mob spawning in as of 1.17.34 is the version I'm recording in is 24. Now using a split density check design, we are able to get up to 48 mobs or 46 mobs at one time because of the split density, because these two farms are far from each other. So whenever the game tries to spawn a mob in this section, it will actually check, and this module is far away from that check radius, allowing even more mobs to spawn in this area. And the same applies to here as well for mob spawns. And this module is far away from its radius of checking, and we are able to have up to 48 mobs. And we are using scaffolding and water trick. Mobs can spawn inside of scaffolding, and the flowing water pushes them, and we're using coral reef in order for them to fall down directly into the kill chamber. And we're using Trident killer, and this Trident killer is made by Silentwisperer. Make sure to check out his channel. Link to his channel will be down in the description below. And also this mob farm has been inspired by Silentwisperer as well, so please go ahead and check out his channel. Link to his channel is down in the description below. And all of the items are pushed by this water flow stream, and this is the storage. The storage is completely up to you. Everyone likes to build a storage system of their own, even me. Now using this farm is pretty simple. All you have to do is make your way to the AFK spot, flick the lever on to turn on the Trident killers, and make sure to wait for the mobs to spawn. As you can see, whenever they spawn, they get pushed, they fall down, and they get pushed into the Trident killer, and everything will be here. Make sure to hold a looting 3 sword in your main hand in order to increase the drop rate. As you can see, all the mobs get pushed, and XP will be delivered over here from this system. As you can see, all the mobs get pushed, and they're going into the Trident killer without any hassle. As you can see, we're having more mobs than the initial amount. As you can see, both sides have so much mobs. As you can see, even spiders can also get pushed by the scaffolding. As you can see, they get pushed and they fall in. And if you're wondering what the rates of the farm is, this is the rates of the farm. As you can see, you get up to 6,375 drops per hour. And if you decide to start at level 0, you get up to level 67 in just 1 hour. I did multiple tests, as you can see, up to 6 to 7 hours. And these are the rates. As you can see, you get up to this much here. Got the gold bones and everything, and you also got gunpowder, your rotten flesh, as well as various junk items. Keep in mind, this farm works for all simulation instances as well. Doesn't matter if your simulations are 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12. You will get about the same rates, or sometimes you might get an increase a little bit, but you won't see any significant difference if you're on simulations of 6 and higher. Now, if you love this episode farm before you build it in your survival worlds, a world download is provided down in the description below. It is a direct link to Mediafire, and also materials list is provided down in the description below for your convenience. And let's get right into the tutorial. All you have to do is now go ahead and mark a chunk. There are different ways to mark a chunk. You can go use chunk base, or you can use texture pack to visualize the chunk. Now once you mark a chunk with the 16 by 16, go ahead and mark the chunk which is on the right side or left side. Now it's easy because once you mark the first chunk, it will be easy to recognize the second one because it's just 16 blocks and it's a 16 blocks. Now I'll recommend you to build it on the north as well as south direction. The reason why is because now you can go ahead and take advantage of the mob spawning mechanics. So if you don't know, in Bedrock Edition, mob spawn in the northwest corner of a block rather than on the center. So if a mob decides to spawn over here, they spawn in the northwest corner, meaning on these 4 blocks in between the center of these 4 blocks. It's just a recommendation. If you don't want to do it, no problem, but if you want to take advantage of the mob spawning mechanics, go ahead and make sure to mark it on the north as well as the south direction. Make sure to build the 64 blocks above if you're on simulation distance of 4, or realms, servers, or worlds which in simulations of 4, and if you're playing in simulations of 6 and higher, make sure it is 130 blocks above any caves, mountains. Make sure no mobs spawn underneath and ruin the rates. Keep in mind, in the future, realms might change simulation distance, so I will be letting you know down in the pinned comment below, so you can go ahead and check out which simulations it's going to be, and you can go ahead and build it 128 or 64 in the future. Now once you're done building the chunks, now what I do on the first side is the exact same on the other, so all you have to do is just invert it on the other side as well. So I'm going to be building one module. Now all you have to do is now mark 2 chunks on the left side. On the right side, if you decide to pick a direction, go ahead and mark 2 more chunks. Once you mark 2 chunks extending to the right or the left side, if you decide to build, it should look something like this. And this split density check layout is also made by Silentwisperer. Make sure to check out his channel. Link to his channel will be down in the description below. Now make your way to the last chunk. Now go ahead and place 2 temporary blocks over here and place a solid block. Now this will be the first spawning layer. You can go ahead and mine these 2 blocks over here. That's no use. Now go ahead and place 7 more blocks. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure it is 8 blocks in total. Now go ahead and do this all the way over here. Once you made it over here, make your way out over here and place 6 blocks forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once done, now go ahead and do the same over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you're done, it should look something like this. Now go ahead and fill this whole layer with solid blocks. Now once you're done placing in the solid blocks, it should look something like this. Now go ahead and grab your scaffolding. Now start placing scaffolding in all of these solid blocks. Make sure all the scaffolding is on top of the solid blocks and make your way to all the way. Make sure all of this is filled with scaffolding. Once done, it should look something like this. All the scaffolding will be on top of the solid blocks like this. Now go ahead and grab your tinted glass, or you can go ahead and use solid blocks as well. Go ahead and place it like this. Make sure it is 2 blocks over here. And go ahead and wrap this all the way. Make sure to avoid the front side. Go ahead and do this over here. Go ahead and place tinted or solid blocks if you want to use over here as well. You can go ahead and skip the corners and wrap this all the way except the front side. Once done, it should look something like this. Make sure to wrap it all the way except the front side, and also make sure it's too tall. Once that is done, now we need to place the water sources. Now in order to place the water sources, go ahead and create an infinite source if you want, and go ahead and place water like this. Now if you decide to place water like this, like water here, skip and water, this will not form a source block. As you can see, the flowing water is not 8 long. That's because sources will not generate like that when on top of scaffolding. And in order to solve that issue, you can either go ahead and place ice over here and mine it with your fist, or you can go ahead and use light sources in order to melt them, which will take time. I'll recommend you go ahead and grab ice and mine them with your fist. If you want to know where to get ice, I made an ice tutorial in my channel. Link will be in the upper right cards right now. Simple as well as easy design. You can go ahead and mine this ice and create a water source, or you can go ahead and individually place water like this, which is going to be time consuming, but it's up to you which one is easier. And make sure to do this all the way till the end. Once done, it should look something like this. Make sure all the water is flowing till the end of the scaffolding. Now once done, go ahead and grab your coral reef, place coral reef in all of these solid blocks. Make sure the coral reef is on the edge like this, and make sure to do this all the way till the end. Don't skip any blocks. Make sure to place coral reef. Buttons, trapdoors will not help you. Buttons will not work. Trapdoors will make sure they will be at the edge. So make sure to use coral reef so they can fall down directly. Once done, placing in the coral reef, water flowing and everything is correct, this will be your first layer. Now we need to do this 6 more times, and in order to create even more layers, all you have to do is go to the corner, place a temporary block over here, place a solid block. This will be the second platform solid block. As you can see, make sure there is 2 block gap, and in order to create a second layer, go to place 2 temporary blocks followed by 1 over here. So that'll be 2 layers, and do the same over here, 1, 2 and 3. Now make sure there are 3 layers on the top and same on the bottom as well. So make sure to place 2 temporary blocks. This will be the first layer for the bottom, same 2 temporary blocks, and the second layer, and last but not least 2 temporary blocks as well as 3. As you can see, this will be 3 layers bottom and 3 layers on top. In total, that will be 7 layers. Make sure to do the same platform placement, the scaffolding, and also the edge borders. If you decide to if you use solid blocks, make sure to place slabs on top of this so no mobs spawn on the solid block. If you decide to use solid block, now go ahead and do the same thing what you did the first platform to all the others. Once done, it should look something like this. Make sure that all the 3 layers on the top as well as bottom are the exact same, and also make sure to place coral reef. Once you're done, make your way to the top layer. Now go ahead and grab your slabs, place a temporary block over here followed by a slab over here. Now go ahead and cover this whole area with slabs. These slabs are to make sure to prevent endermen from spawning, but if you would love to have endermen, you can go ahead and don't place slabs and just go ahead and replace this with tinted or solid block. If you decide to use solid block, make sure to place slab on top so no mobs spawn on top of them. Keep in mind, if you decide to use tinted or solid blocks, then the enderman might teleport on top or might teleport the area, and also that will ruin the race because the mob is idle and standing still. So if you want endermen, you can go ahead and don't place slabs, but they might wander around here and there and ruin the raid, so it's up to you. If you decide to use slabs, make sure to place slabs all the way till the end, except on top of this. Now once you're done, go ahead and grab your solid or tinted glass. You can go ahead and place it all over here now on the edges, and go ahead and place it over here and fill this whole area. Make sure to place over here because we need to make sure that the light level is low enough for monsters to spawn. If you're building this on 1.18, the light level should be 0 in order for mobs to spawn. So you need to encase this whole area with tinted or solid blocks. If you're placing solid blocks, make sure the topmost layer is covered with slabs so no mobs spawn over there. Once done, it should look something like this. Make sure this top layer is tinted glass so you can get surface spawns. Make sure that you use tinted glass so you can get surface spawn, and all this below will be cave spawns. Once you're done placing the tinted glass on the top, make your way to the bottom. Now go ahead and grab a solid block, place 2 solid block over here, followed by a temporary block. I'm gonna grab a magma block, place 2 magma block over here. Now place 7 magma blocks going forward. I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In total, that will be 8. Now go ahead and place 2 temporary block over here. Now go ahead and do the same. Now make sure that's 8 long. 1, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now do the same again. 2 temporary block over here, followed by, that'll be layer 1, 2, 8. Once you made your 8, it should be like this. Make sure this is aligned properly and you'll have 3 8 long of magma blocks. You can go ahead and mine these 2 temporary blocks over here. I'm going to grab your solid block and go ahead and wrap this side. You can go ahead and mine the temporary block over here. Go ahead and place solid block all the way over here till the end. Once done, it should look something like this. Make sure it's 8 long 3 magma blocks, as well as make sure to place solid blocks like this as well. Now make your way to the edge. Go ahead and place temporary block here, followed by solid blocks. Make sure it's 2, and go ahead and extend this top all the way. Make sure to extend this top all the way, and once you made it over here, you can go ahead and place a solid block. Or if you decide to use solid block in the edges, you can place that over here, or you can place tinted block on top. Now go ahead and place solid blocks here as well. You should place solid blocks here as well, all the way till the top. Once done, go ahead and replicate this on this side as well. Go ahead and place a temporary block over here, followed by 2 solid blocks in this location, and go ahead and tower this up and do the same. Once done, it should look something like this. Now go ahead and grab your tinted glass. Go ahead and extend this forward. You can also go ahead and use solid blocks over here. If you decide to use solid block, make sure the slab's on top. Now go ahead and cover this whole area with tinted or solid blocks. You can go ahead and place solid blocks as well. Go ahead and cover this whole top layer over here with all tinted or solid blocks. You can go ahead and place tinted blocks if you love to see, or you can go ahead and cover this whole front area with solid blocks as well. Once done, it should look something like this. Now if you decide to use solid block, make sure that slab's on top of this top layer so no mobs spawn. You can go ahead and replace these tinted glass with solid block if it's expensive for you. Now make your way inside of the farm over here. Now wherever this layer is over here, go ahead and grab your coral reef and place coral reef over here all the way, because mobs will actually not pathfind when there's only 1 block of coral reef. Because coral reefs, for mobs, coral reef is a block to pathfind, because if there's only 1 coral reef, then they will be stuck in a position where mobs actually need an area to pathfind in order to walk off. If there's only 1 coral reef, then they will be stuck in this position and you have to just wait for the RNG in order for them to fall down. Whereas if you place 2 over here, they will go ahead and fall down correctly. Make sure to do the same to all to these layers over here, on the opposite side here, all the way till the end. Once you're done placing in the coral reefs, make your way to the bottom platform over here. You might take damage, but make sure to drink a fire rest potion, or you can crouch. Now make your way over here, go and place 2 buttons, and go ahead and place water over here. These buttons are to prevent bubble columns from spawning. And as you can see, once you're done correctly, once you place 8, make sure it's 8, and this water will stop over here. Now go ahead and place buttons over here, 1 button over here, and 1 button over here, and do the same over here as well, 2 buttons over here. Now make your way to the center of this background block and place 4 buttons over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now place 4 water sources in this location. Make sure not to place it at the wrong location like I did. Once you're done placing in the water, as you can see, this 4 water sources will flow. As you can see, whenever mobs from the center fall down, they either get put from the left or they get either put from the right side of the Trident killers. Now go ahead and make your way over here, place 2 buttons over here, and place water source, and as you can see, all of them will flow, all of them will fall. Now make sure that you have done this correctly. Once done, now we need to build the Trident killer for this farm. Now all you gotta do is go ahead and pick a direction where you want to build it. Now all you gotta do is go ahead and pick the section you want to build it. Now go ahead and place 3 solid blocks over here. That's 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and place a temporary block over here. Now go ahead and place blue or packed text like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure it's right where these holes are. Now if you're starting building from the left side, now go ahead and place a temporary block over here, followed by a blue or packed dice on the right side. If you're on the left side, make sure this is on the right side. And on the right side, if you're building it, I'll show you later once this is done. Go ahead and mine this. Now once done, go ahead and grab your solid block. Place a solid block over here, wrap this all the way except for this area. Go ahead and place solid blocks all the way, wrap it all the way over here. Once that is done, now go ahead and grab your pistons. Place a piston over here, followed by a piston over here, and a piston over here, and a piston over here. Make sure there's no solid block piston on top of this, really important. Grab your solid block, place solid blocks over here, cover this whole area with solid blocks so no mobs glitch outside. Once that is done, now go ahead and place your dropper over here. Now make sure this dropper is in line with this blue ice over here. It's really important. Now if the blue ice is on the left side, make sure the dropper is over here. That is over there. I'll show you how. And once that is done, go ahead and place your observer. Make sure the observer's red dot is facing like this. Now go ahead and place your solid block over here. We got a repeater, place a repeater over here, make sure it's on 2 ticks by right clicking or tapping on it. We got the observer, place observer over here, make sure this observer's face is looking at this repeater, followed by a solid block, make sure the solid block is on top of the piston, and do the same. Go ahead and place a repeater, 2 ticks, followed by an observer looking at it, solid block, and the same over here, 2 ticks repeater, observer looking at it, and a solid block, and that will be your Trident killer's starting setup. I'm going to place solid blocks over here. No mobs glitch outside because Bedrock Edition tends to do that when using Trident killers. Once you're done placing the solid blocks, now go ahead and grab your trapdoor, place the trapdoor over here. Once done, now go ahead and make your way in. Now if you're building this on the left side, go ahead and grab your stair now and mine this block over here. Make sure to mine this block, place the stair over here. Now go ahead and grab your button and place button over here on this piston if you're on the left side. Now go ahead and grab your water bucket. Now go ahead and waterlog the piston as well as the stair. This is to make sure that the items flow outside over here as well as the experience. If you're on the left side, make sure the piston and the stair is waterlogged on this area. Once that is done, that will be your Trident killer setup. That will be your first Trident killer. Now for the second, all you have to do is the same. Go ahead and place 3 solid blocks over here. Temporary block, blue opaque dice like this. Now if you're on the right side, go ahead and place a temporary block over here and a blue opaque dice, and it should look something like this. As you can see, this is the only difference over here. I'm going to place solid blocks over here now. Once done, I'm going to grab your pistons, place the piston over here, piston over here, as well as here, solid blocks all the way over here as well. Now once done, go ahead and place a dropper over here. So as you can see, make sure this dropper is right line in with this blue ice, and all you have to do is just go ahead and do the same thing. Go ahead and make sure that the observer red dot is facing over here. Solid block, repeater on 2 ticks, and do have to do this all the way till the end. Once you're done building the Trident killer, now make your way in. Go ahead and place a trapdoor over here so no water escapes. Mine this block, place a stair over here. Now place a button over here. Now go ahead and waterlog the piston as well as the stair, and it should look something like this from the inside. As you can see, on the right side, the piston and the stair are on the right side and waterlogged, and the flowing water is coming over here. Make sure this is done correctly or the items will get backed up in the wrong location and your game will lag out. So make sure to do this both correctly on both Trident killers. Once done, make your way into the farm. Now go ahead and grab a coral reef. Place 2 coral reef on the side of the magma cubes. It might be difficult, but make sure to place them. This is to make sure the mob path finds downwards and not struggle and stand on the edge. Now go ahead and do the same over here as well. Place 2 coral reef in these edges. Now once done, go ahead and grab your trident. Now I'll recommend you to have an impaling fire trident so you can insta-kill the mob and increase the rate even more. Make sure it doesn't really matter, it's just a recommendation. If you want to have even more rates, make sure to put 1 trident on each of these Trident killers. Go ahead and place them. Keep in mind, in 1.17.34 is the version I'm recording in. There's a bug where Trident can despawn if it's out of your weapon distance. So make sure to collect the Trident before leaving the area. This bug is fixed in 1.18. That is what the bug tracker is claiming. Here's the screenshot. As you can see, it says 1.18. So if you're building this from 1.18, you don't need to worry. It's been fixed, so you don't need to collect it ever again. Now once you're done building the Trident killer, now we need to get the AFK spot. Now the AFK spot will be these 4 blocks on these 2 chunks over here. As you can see, this is the chunk border that I marked, and this will be your AFK spot. It can be any of these 1 blocks. Make sure that you AFK at any of these 1 blocks. It could be here, here, here. It could be any one of these. You can go ahead and AFK at any of these spots. Doesn't really matter, but it should be any 4 of these. So if you decide to build a second layer, you can go ahead and get even more mobs. If you did AFK at any other spot except these 4, then you will not be getting the split density full checkout there. Then you will have less rates. So make sure this AFK spot is correct. Go ahead and replace these AFK spot with glass blocks because we will be building XP system and delivery later. Once you're done, now we will be building the water stream. Now another water stream, you can go ahead and use blue or packed dice. Go and place that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you're done placing 5 blue opaque dice, place the button over here. Now go ahead and place it over here now. Now do the same over here. That'll be 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and connect this. Now place a button over here. And once done, make your way to the center. Now in order to align for the center, it will be offset because we are having 2 block center over here. Now make sure to mark where the center is. This is the AFK spot, like I said. Now you can go ahead and choose any 4 blocks over here. Go ahead and extend this to the AFK spot. Once you're aligned with the AFK spot where you want, go ahead and place a soul sand block followed by a button. Once that is done, now you can go ahead and use your tinted glass, or you can go use solid blocks as well. Go ahead and cover this all area except the edges. Go ahead and place, if you use solid blocks, make sure there are slabs on top of them so no mob spawn. Go ahead and cover this all the way. Once done, it should look something like this. You can go ahead and replace the solid blocks. Make sure there are slabs on top as well. And once done, go ahead and grab your water bucket, go ahead and create an infinite source, or you can go ahead and use ice as well. Place water over here. Now place water over here. Once you place the button over here, place the water over here, as well as water over here, here. And grab a button, place the button over here, as well as here. Now make sure there is the central flow over here, followed by a water. Make sure the water flows till the end. Place the button, and same water. Make sure it flows the end. Button, water. Now once done, go ahead and place a button over here. Now make sure to count 1, 2, 3. Place the button over here, followed by a water, and it will flow over here. Now it should be like this. Make sure that you have done this correctly. Once done, now go ahead and grab your solid block. Place solid blocks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 solid blocks over here. Place a slab over here. Now go ahead and cover this whole area with solid blocks. Make sure to place solid blocks on top. Place 4 solid blocks in these locations, slab over here, and cover this whole top area with solid blocks till the end. Once done, now go ahead and grab your solid block, place solid blocks like this. Now go ahead and tower this up till your AFK spot. Make sure to place solid blocks like this all the way till your AFK spot. Once you're towered up till your AFK spot, go ahead and mine the glass block temporarily. Now go ahead and place water. If you go ahead and replace this with solid block, you can place flowing water, place scalped, and make sure all the water is 4 sources. Make sure all the water is sources, then go ahead and replace it with soul sand, and make sure to create bubble elevator. This is for the XP delivery system, so you can get the experience. On the last layer, once you made your very last layer, go ahead and place your glass blocks so the XP can phase through and you are able to collect them. And this will be the bubble elevator. And if you want to create a second system over there, just go ahead and place a blue ice, mine this block, and place the button over here. And you can go ahead and expand this and do it the same what you did over there as well. Once you are towered in all the sections that made a bubble column, now go ahead and place 2 temporary blocks over here, followed by a solid block. Now go ahead and wrap this whole area with solid blocks. Once done, go ahead and place slabs on top so no mobs spawn later as you go out. Also, the solid blocks is to make sure phantoms don't spawn once you are AFK overnight. Once done, go ahead and place the lever over here, click it on. Once done, go ahead and place a redstone dust over here. Now go ahead and create a glass tower going downwards in a zigzag line. So glass over here, and you know what to do. Make sure to do this all the way down. Once you're done building the glass tower, go ahead and grab your redstone dust. Place redstone dust in all of these locations. Make sure to turn on the lever so you can go ahead and check if the redstone dust is near to its death. Once you're done placing all the redstone dust and made your way down, place the redstone dust over here. Now if the redstone dust is dead or if it's 0, go ahead and place a solid block, followed by a repeater. Place a solid block again over here. Now go ahead and place redstone dust till it dies. Once the redstone dust ends, or if it's 0 power, place a solid block, follow a repeater, solid block, and go ahead and place redstone dust over here. Now go ahead and connect this redstone dust to the droppers. That will power. Go ahead and do the same over here as well. As you can see, this will be the on and off switch. Now go ahead and place your slabs. Place slabs on top of this so no mobs spawn. If you go ahead and turn off the farm, the Trident killers will activate. If you go ahead and turn this on, the Trident killers will off. Now for the storage system for this farm, all you gotta do is go ahead and place solid blocks over here. Go ahead and place some temporary blocks, followed by your double chest over here. Once done, go ahead and place your hopper. Place a hopper facing into this chest, followed by 2 rails. Once you're done placing 2 rails, go ahead and place both hopper minecarts over here. That will collect the items. And you can go ahead and expand this downwards as much as you want. Keep in mind, the storage is completely up to you. Everyone loves to build a storage system of their own, so it's up to you if you want to connect this to an item sorter or whatever you desire. Once done, that will be your mob farm done. Now all you gotta do is go ahead and build the second section right over there. It's the exact same placement but inverted. The same redstone, the same placement of scaffolding, solid blocks, and everything else. If you only want to build one mod, you can go ahead, and once you got all the resources, you can go ahead and build the second one as well. Once you're done building the 2 modules, it should look something like this. Now all you have to do is go ahead and flick the lever. Now go ahead and hold a looting tree sword in your main hand so you can get extra rush. As you can see, the mobs will start spawning, they'll get pushed down, and the magma cubes will damage them, and all the mobs will get into the Trident killer and they will die, and all the experience will get pushed by this water stream and everything. As you can see, I'm starting to get experience. Now you can go ahead and AFK here for as long as you want. You can get up to level 67 in 1 hour or even more depending on the RNG. As you can see, I'm hoping today's Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial was really helpful for whatever use you have for gunpowder, rotten flush, string, arrow, and whatsoever. Make sure to leave a like, and also make sure to share this video to other Minecraft players. That will really mean a lot to me. And also make sure to check out my channel because there's lots of Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorials and more 1.17 farms and 1.18 farms coming. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Adios.